Let's try that. What is going on? It says we're not on Facebook. I don't know. We're just going to try to do it. Today on First Cup, I'm having a show, and we're talking about martial arts, and I'm all thrown off, and now I'm irritated. No, it says does it say it's going? It says it starts in 3 minutes. I have no idea. But nobody's here. And there's no notification that we're live on Facebook. So, all right, here's what I think we're going to do. We're going to try something. We're going to mix it up, because right now we're getting you peeps out of Twitter and YouTube. Hold on. Come on. It's too early for this. It's way too early for this. Create a post. Live video. Got it. Okay. No, all these things need to go away. Rotate the camera. And start live video. Because I don't know what else to do. Okay. Excuse me. We'll see. There was an error when I made the video, when I made the post on Friday. Something didn't go right. Oh, it crashed. And so I remade it. And apparently that wasn't enough. Today on First Cup, yes, I'm looking between two cameras now, and I hate it. We're talking about the new episode of Martial Arts Radio, my weekend, Halloween, all that good stuff. So I've already been waiting. So 3, 2, 1, coffee. So I've got Facebook on my phone, and I've got Twitter and YouTube over here, which means I'm not going to be able to see your comments in the same way. So those of you who actually really want to engage, I'm going to encourage you to move from Facebook over to YouTube. I'm expecting this is a one-time thing. My apologies, but technology. I don't know. Oh, can I just go back to bed and try again? Hope you had a great weekend. Hope your Halloween, if you did anything, was solid and fun and free of chaos, free of pranks, free of apples being given out as candy. That was always the worst, wasn't it? I didn't do anything for Halloween. I'll be honest. I'll be really honest with all of you. Without kids and as a single person, Halloween's not that much fun. Halloween used to be fun, even into my teen years, even into my 20s. Halloween was fun. I love dressing up. I actually really love Halloween. But the kind of people that I want to spend time with at Halloween parties don't generally have Halloween parties. Where I live, I've tried to hand out candy and nobody shows up. So, good morning, Jenny. So I went out, did a bunch of stuff out yesterday. Went to the gym, went to dinner with a friend. Bunch of people at the restaurant were dressed up. Bunch of people brought their kids trick-or-treating at the restaurant, so got to engage a little bit. It was fun. Saturday was kind of a crazy day. Most of you know I'm dealing with my father's estate and grabbing all of his things and bringing them back to Vermont so they can be sorted, because they exist in a house that is rented. And everything is in one room, boxed up, packed. It was already boxed up. Good morning, Stacy. So I did that. I needed to make another trip, and I did the entirety of the trip on Saturday. I got up, I drove 3.5 hours, spent 15 minutes loading the car because, again, everything's boxed up. chatted with the tenant for maybe 5 minutes. And he helped. That's part of why it didn't take very long. And then I drove back. Stopped for dinner with a high school friend I've been trying to catch up with. She and I haven't chatted in a long time. Well, online, but I haven't seen her in ages. And so we had lunch. That was cool. Coffee's good. Coffee came out good. And that was it. Got home and pretty much just passed out all yesterday. Good morning, Eric. All yesterday, just from being in the car that long with almost no movement. I've been wearing this thing. I think I had less than 2,000 steps on the day. My back was off. So when I went to the gym yesterday, I wasn't doing anything heavy. I was just trying to move around. I was doing a bunch of stretching, leg raises. You know what leg raises are. What's going on today? We've got a bunch of projects that are happening both for Whistlekick and for other people that I've got to review. Tacos with friends tonight. Yeah. Things have been decent. Socially, things have been decent. Oh, I wanted to show you because some of you may instantly look at this and say, that reminds me of, and I'm curious. So this was one of the things in the boxes that I emptied of my father's. Does this remind you of anything martial arts related? Anything at all? It's not quite the same, but it reminds me of the hat Tom Laughlin wore in Billy Jack. It was a different, if I remember correctly, it was a different style hat. It was straighter sides, and I think a flatter top. Heck, I could wear it like that, but no, it's way too big. But like this part right here, yeah, Jenny agrees. Okay, Billy Jack, yeah, this part right here and the color. So my father had a larger head than I do, so these don't quite fit the same way. But the fact that it was his and it reminds me of Billy Jack, I don't ever see myself wearing this in public. This isn't really my style. But I thought it was fun that I would share it. He liked cowboy movies. I'm finding a ton of like old John Wayne movies. The number of John Wayne VHS tapes I found were interesting. Because you look at it now and you're like, oh, 2021, who has a VCR? Well, back in 2009, when we boxed this stuff up, having a VCR wasn't that crazy. It was a little crazy, but not that crazy. And I'm sure he had one. I may find a VCR in one of these boxes. I don't remember. And then finding a lot of these boxes that I packed, like the monstrous, super heavy ones. Oh, yeah, they've definitely got my handwriting on the top. Who packed this crazy heavy box? Oh, yeah, Jeremy did. Me. That would be me. I'm Jeremy. I packed the heavy box. Free training day stuff is going really, really well. For those of you coming, it's going to be awesome. Now we've got, the unofficial Saturday. Well, I guess we can call it official. Looks like it's going to happen. Saturday night dinner. And Andrew found this cool spot that, believe it or not, like, tell me if this seems ridiculous to me. It seems ridiculous that this is actually possible, but it is. It's the restaurant attached to a chain hotel. It's a Best Western. The food is good. He says he and his wife will go there as a destination. And you look at the menu and the food's cheap for a restaurant, especially a restaurant attached to a hotel where they usually figure, you know what? We kind of got you. We're going to charge you a little bit more. No, the food's inexpensive. So we've got good food. It's inexpensive. They have a banquet room, but they're willing to do individual tables and like individual checks. So we can all be together, but I don't have to pay for everyone. I'm super excited. And my hope is that, because we've shifted the location, we're now less than 2 weeks away, by the way. Yeah, November 1st. Oh, I didn't say that. Good morning. It's November 1st. thing is being dumb. Fingers crossed that it works better tomorrow. Oh, I can make comments full screen. I have a new phone. I can show you if you're not watching on Facebook, but if you're not watching on Facebook, I can't show you. I have a new phone. I'm trying to make these comments. There we go. Now I can see them better. I'm all over the place. This, like, you get into a routine, right? You do something a certain way for years. Okay, now we're pressing buttons. Stop that. You get into a routine, and then something throws you off your routine. You're like, okay, how do I handle this? And you make the best. Do what you can with what you have where you're at, right? I've said that before. You've heard me say that before. I'm excited for Free Training Day. I'm excited for this coming Saturday. Andrew and I are going to Rhode Island Comic Con. So we've got a lot of prep work that we have to do for that. Well, not a lot. We have prep work for that. We're bringing audio-visual gear, trying to grab quick interviews, hopefully line people up for more conventional interviews on the show. And there's a lot of little logistical stuff I have to do in prep for Free Training Day, like release forms. I have to have release forms printed. I have to have pens for people to fill them out. We're going to be selling autographed books. I've got to bring a table. I've got to bring a sign. I've got to make sure people can pay with a credit card, right? Like that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll just wear this hat for today's episode. If it's all going to be thrown off, let's just be thrown off together. I can't put my hood over this hat, though. It doesn't work. Oh. Yeah. Other things from the weekend, nothing I can think of. We've got crazy rain going on here. Thanks, Stacey. Crazy rain. The whole Northeast is getting crazy rain right now, and we're on the verge of some flooding in some places. When I drove out last night, I could see it. Like, I'm not super thrilled with the levels of rain right now. All right, it's Monday, which means episode. Now, but I always pull my phone to look at the episode. All right, fine. I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to load YouTube here. Stacy says, crazy rain indeed. It's so squishy and puddly. Puddly. I feel like puddly would mean something else, but that's a good word. Where are we? We got to go here. And then, okay. Today's episode, Grandmaster Brendan Wilson. Trying to remember Brendan Wilson. Let me see. I gotta get there so I can read the description and remember. Details. Fired. Oh yeah, he wrote a book. Good stuff. Oh, right. Okay. So Grandmaster Brendan Wilson is a long-standing martial artist who served in the military. Thank you for your service, sir. And came out, did a bunch of training of military officers, developed his own system, and has written a fiction book rooted in martial arts. Very much reminds me of not the plot or anything, but the sentiment behind my writing Faith. That, I want a book that has some martial arts in it, but I don't want it to be a martial arts book. Those weren't his words, but that was my takeaway. The other thing I found really interesting, and I think that this is so uncommon, I think it says a lot about him. The main character for the book, the protagonist, it's modeled on his ex-wife. That says something about a person, doesn't it? To think so positively of your ex and to have such a good relationship remaining that you would write a story and make them the hero. I think that's kind of cool. It's still dark out. It's 6:45 and it's still super dark out. When's daylight savings? Next week? Yeah. Next week. And then it'll be dark at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't like that. I'm curious that we've got a few of you watching live. Are you like me and you would prefer it to be dark in the morning and then stay light later? Or would you prefer that it be light in the morning and get dark earlier? I got to work, right? Like, it doesn't matter to me if it's dark right now. It doesn't change anything for me. But when I'm done work and I want to go for a walk, I don't like walking in the dark, you know? Meh. Stacy says, it's not just dark, but that dark that even sucks up the lights. Yeah. Yes, it is. Crazy rain. All right. Now, I tagged a number of you in the Facebook post, but the only person who left me anything to talk about was Frank. Thank you, Frank, for being super reliable. Now, on Friday, I brought up the illness of Mr. Scott Lombardo. Sensei? I'm going to call him Sensei. I would call him Sensei if we were training. Sensei Scott Lombardo. Episode 90, we're going way back. I encouraged everyone to listen. Oh, we've got votes coming in. Eric says, same, don't like it dark at 2:30 in the afternoon. Oh, this is working awkwardly with the comments. Stacy would rather have it dark in the morning. Jenny says, I would also like to have the light in the evening when the busy day is done and it's time to relax. Yeah. Yep. And Stacy says, I failed over the weekend to not get much of anything done. Well, be nice to yourself. And Dennis says, Indiana Jeremy. Thanks, Dennis. These comments, like, it's weird. They won't stay. I don't understand what's going on here. Yeah, so we're all pretty much in agreement that it should be light later. Daylight savings time is weird. I don't know. So we talked about Scott Lombardo, who actually was at the first free training day. He's a good man, a skilled martial artist. And so Frank says, what was your favorite part of the interview? I'm going to be honest. I didn't go back and listen to it. I don't go back and listen to interviews. Do you know the last time I listened to an interview after we recorded it? Master Ken. That's the last one that I did. I don't like listening to the interviews because I'm hearing my voice. Now, I hear my voice when I'm talking. I was there. And I think part of that is that I had to spend so much time with them when I was doing the editing that I'd rather not do that anymore. Now, there are times when I have to listen to a section or something, but I did not go back and listen to that interview. And I likely won't for a while because it's going to make me sad. What nobody here knows is that I like Scott so much and respect Scott so much and his skill, his training, etc., that we had a conversation at one point about what it might look like if I was his student. And it didn't work out, and that's okay, because the way he wanted to handle it was not quite the way I wanted to handle it. But it wasn't like a, oh, bah. No, it wasn't. Yeah. He's just a good dude. And it sucks that, to be blunt, he's dying. He's dying. He knows he's dying. And it's hard. I don't know if that's better or worse than not knowing. I hope I never have to find out. But he's still teaching. He's still sharing what he knows. Now, the second part of Frank's question here is tell us about his work with veterans. Now, I've never been there. Right? I've not watched him teach people, but the general premise is he has an organization called VMAT, Veterans Martial Arts Training. And he has a nonprofit where he takes donations and he teaches veterans for free. And many of these veterans have PTSD or they're missing limbs. He does this in the Seacoast, New Hampshire area. And so he mentioned when we were messaging last week, because he can't talk anymore, we were typing, that he's thankful that he's got that experience teaching people in a wheelchair because he's in a wheelchair and he knows now what to do, how to teach. It's a good organization. I've personally made a donation to them a number of times. Yeah, I'm getting a little emotional here. You chatted with him recently. How is he? He's not well. But his spirit seemed to be okay. Maybe even up. I reached out and I was just like, what can we do? And the tone, I didn't say it this way, but I think he understood the question or the offer was this way, was, hey, is there anything else you want to put out there beforehand? I just had a moment of panic, like, did I put the trash out? I can hear yes, I did. It's full of junk. Stuff that was packed in with the boxes it didn't need to be. Non-donatable items. But it sounds like he's going to write something for Martial Journal. This is one of those situations where I look at the person or I consider the person and I think, okay, how would this go without martial arts? How would their life be different? Would they fade faster? Would their drive to remain productive be there? I don't know. So that gives you 2 episodes to check out. If you haven't checked out 90 with Scott Lombardo, as a favor to me, please do. How about that? And then, of course, episode 652 with Grandmaster Brendan Wilson. Just make sure I get that right. All right. This was a weird one, so I'm going to just call it now, and hopefully tomorrow's is less weird, and I won't have to look in 2 different places and everything. So thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Leave me stuff to talk about, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Peace.